It's really no secret that the most popular videos that I post on here are going to be videos that are like specifically showing a certain strategy or something about digital drop shipping and selling digital products. And that's cool because those things are important. But the things that will make the most impact, and it's something that I learned, it took me a few years to figure out, is more so becoming the person that is worthy of these certain results that you actually want. When I was creating DDM in 2022, and I was talking to a good friend of mine who had helped manage a digital product offer that ended up scaling to over $1 million a month during COVID, and I asked him, like, what's one thing that I should really like make sure I focus on and implement inside of DDM to make it not just some type of digital product that people will go through and then not use it or just not apply it or take it seriously. And he's like, the number one thing you should focus on is, aside from strategy stuff, is helping them become the person that is worthy of the results that they're looking for. Because far too often, and myself guilty included at times, is I really want a certain outcome and that would be nice to have, but I haven't made myself the person that is actually like worthy of that results. Like, I don't know, ask yourself, if you want to be a millionaire, do you feel like you are a millionaire? Right? Like, do you feel like you look like a millionaire? You fit the part, you do the things that a millionaire would do? Like, what do you do in the mornings? What do you do at night? What do you do throughout the day? I mean, like, do you feel worthy of these certain things and certain outcomes? And it's not just like a millionaire or a billionaire or a trillionaire. It's different things. Like, if you want to just be in shape, like, are you doing the things that a person that's in shape would be doing? If not, okay, well, what are the differences between where you are now and where you actually want to go at that point? So understanding these differences is not a sexy thing. It's not something that people want to just like talk about or read about or hear about all the time. But it's something that I studied last year, specifically like a year and a half ago, more in depth from a professional per se, where I got to really like do an in-depth analysis on myself and say, okay, Tanner, obviously as humans, we want to be able to progress and build and evolve over time. Like, we can, especially as entrepreneurs, like we can get stagnant very easily, and it's not a good feeling. Or saying, hey, a year ago from today, if I'm in the same exact position, it's my own fault, but why is that? And it's like a hard thing to think about sometimes. Like, sometimes we don't grow as quick as we want to, but when I was doing this in-depth analysis on myself, I was really just like pinpointing these different things, like the ways that I think, the ways that I dress, the ways that I talk, the way that I present myself, and all these different things that were very detached from what I really felt like I was called to. And it's not always about fitting a stereotype either. Like, for example, if I say I want to be a millionaire, I don't just have to look at this guy over here and say, oh, he's a millionaire, I'm going to dress like him, or I'm going to talk like him. It's not just about that. It's about seeing, what do you determine is that outcome, and what you believe. Because if you see this guy's dressed like in a suit and all this stuff, and he's a millionaire, and you want to be a millionaire, but you don't feel like a suit represents being a millionaire, and like if you wear a suit, that wouldn't really help you because you don't really feel like that fits what you're going towards. But if you believe, oh, a millionaire is someone who has nice hair, they got a nice shave, they wear shirts like this and pants like this and shoes like this and a watch like this, and that's what I admire. Okay, if you dress like that, you're going to feel more like it, and you're going to act like it and think like it, because that's what you believe represents that certain outcome that you're looking for. And this is something that I'm still figuring out myself. Like, I still feel like I'm pretty young in my journey here and just figuring things out as I go. And I know a lot of the things that I'm searching for, like the answers, they're in two things really: the work I haven't done yet and the things I haven't learned yet. And what's cool is like this law of exposure, that if I have something that you don't know about yet, but it's something that could directly apply to your business or your life and help you with something, but you've never heard of it, you have no idea what it is, and I tell you, once I tell you and you hear it and you think about it and you know it, you can never just forget this thing completely. So a lot of the times there are things that we just don't know yet. Like there are so many things that I just don't know yet that could be so helpful for my business and my life that I'm just kind of finding out through absorbing information and through just experience myself. And I'm really excited for it to continue. But sometimes I do feel like this feeling of not making progress or not being where I should be, and really just overthinking. I think I have a big problem with overthinking things, and ultimately all of it is like, it's just me. It's just because of me and my own way of being. And one thing that I have found that helps me specifically in overthinking or just like stagnating is doing stuff, like just doing stuff and being around people or calling people is one of the biggest things that helps me just kind of break out of this like loop I get inside of in my mind. Sometimes calling a friend or a family member, like I have a good habit of calling my people and just talking to them because they're people that I love and care about and that I want to be there for. But at the same time, like I get benefit out of it too, because I just completely am putting myself in a different environment. And I found that the worst point in my life and a point that was dark for me actually was on this reel that I posted. I'll play a little bit of audio here.
I'm gonna make it happen. Like what happens after this if I just quit, if I just give up on all this stuff? What the fuck am I gonna do? Like what am I gonna fucking sit with my parents and smoke weed? What am I gonna do? It's fucking stupid. I can't be like that. I just don't want people, I don't care if people see the side of me of the negative situation in my life right now, but I don't want to ask them for any favors. I don't want them to feel bad for me. I just want them to be aware so they can know why I am who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Future Tanner, in 6 months, I hope to see you, even in a year. I hope to see you transform physically, mentally, financially. I know I'm gonna be able to, achieve financial success if I keep working at what I'm doing. And the biggest of all, I want you to be okay mentally. And I'm gonna go reflect a little bit. Make it happen. Like what happens after this if I just quit? If I just give up?
Fuck. So that was in 2019, and that's what I would consider like one of the darker moments I've had in my life. And it was a result of my own actions, but like that still doesn't degrade the feelings and the emotions and things you're feeling at a moment like that, like where like just this vulnerability of just like being completely shattered and not knowing what's going to happen, but knowing that it is going to work out and you're going to make it happen. That's why I recorded that anyways, because I knew that I would get out of that I would figure it out and I would change mentally, physically, financially, that I would. I didn't think it would take me years to like get to a point like where I'm at now, but all I could do is give it my all and give it time. And the reason I think it took me several years to really break out and notice a difference is because for a long time I just was like forcing a result too much to the point where I would force it so hard and that I would just like bounce back. Like I would just run, and then I'd run into a wall and then bounce backwards and just like not like just go back to old habits that weren't serving me or old ways of thinking, because I just try to get to this result so fast. And results can happen fast. Like ultimately, like they can happen fast. Things can happen fast. There are people that get results quickly. It does happen. I just know for my own circumstance and situation, like I've had moments where I've had big breakthroughs and like big wins, like made a lot of money like in short amounts of time. But it's happened where it's a culmination of a lot of things happening prior to that. A lot of testing, figuring out, thinking, ideas, practicing, and like then just like doing something and something happens to work. It's a really interesting feeling, like where it looks like it's an overnight success, but I don't think there's such thing, because like most people just don't see or expect all of the prior thoughts, efforts, and stuff before then. But that time in 2019, I was still making videos on here, like talking about like Shopify and stuff like that. At one point, I was posting a video a day, but I was just so broken. And it's easy for me to look at now and be like, yo, Tanner, like, just stop binge eating, just stop smoking, just do these different things. But at the time, like, if I take myself back to that point in time, I understand why it was happening. And one of the big things was what I was talking about before I played that audio, was that I was not I was not talking to people. I was not going around environments. I was just like keeping myself in my room on the computer, and I wasn't like learning stuff. I was just like consuming entertainment content only, and like it just wasn't something that was truly transforming at all. And it's just this cycle. It's just like if you get stuck on scrolling on TikTok, like that's what I would do then. Like every day I would wake up and the first thing I'd be thinking about is, oh, can't wait till it's nighttime. I'm gonna smoke and I'm gonna eat pizza. And then throughout the day I'm thinking about that. I'm just kind of like messing around, but at the same time I know I'm not in a good situation. So I'm kind of like in this bad mood and being like this like kind of irritable, angry person, and mean to myself and not doing things that I know I should be doing. And I'm just speaking from my own experience and kind of what was happening for me in my takeaways from it now. And I think now, like, to be, because I obviously have not I'm not made it, I'm not where I want to be. There's a lot to do still, but I think it's fair to have a healthy dissatisfaction for where I'm at now, while still being able to be grateful for the progress that I have made thus far. And I think for right now, like where I see myself and things that I can improve on is, probably things like being open to take bigger risks inside the business, and do more things that are going to be very uncomfortable and scary and are very different, and create that opportunity for a big shift. But at the same time, it's not just about taking risks. I think also I need to keep learning, investing into education, learning from mentors, because that's where I've gotten a lot of like mini breakthroughs, like not even on purpose, is from people who are just like in similar space and doing things that I'm friends with, and hearing something that they tried or that they did and worked for them, and them telling me to try this or try that, and just implementing it myself, and noticing like such a big shift in little things. Like for example, like with DDM, like onboarding calls is something that I never did before, or doing like welcome videos wasn't something I did before. Like just making these different like implementation points was a recommendation from a friend to increase the likelihood of someone like actually keeping up for the duration of a challenge or the program, and actually getting results with it. So there's a lot of like little things like that, and like DDM, and I'm learning at the end of the day. But my goal, and one thing that I want to keep doing, is I always have admired people that make content that they feel aligns with them. So I know that for me, my dad is very, very creative. He's good at a lot of different things. And I feel like I've inherited a lot of that, with abilities to like play instruments, be creative, draw, like do these things that are creative. But what kind of happens is sometimes, like with this, like let's say I make a YouTube video every week, and I know that next week I'm going to be out for a few days, so I wanted to just kind of be ahead and have a video. Now I could be like the person that's going to just go ahead and like either skip it, not post, or be the person that does something that I just don't feel like is going to be right, or just do the thing that maybe isn't going to be the most viral or the most sought after video, but something that I feel is genuine, that I want to talk about and be able to look back at in the future, and that could maybe help someone else. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And this video, I just like had I didn't know I don't know what it's going to be titled or this or that. I just had a topic that that was on my mind, on my heart, that I wanted to sit down here and make. But to the point, I know that what I'm doing now isn't going to be what I'm doing forever. But one thing that I will think that I believe is going to remain constant is just this creation of content and doing it in a way where it feels right for you, and that I will continue to do. Like, for example, I was having lunch in Miami a couple months back with someone who's a big trader in the space, and he lives here in Puerto Rico as well. And I don't know, we're just talking about like different ways we make content. Like, he makes all these like TikToks and Reels and stuff that are very like personal, just like selfie videos. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, I see you doing all your stories. That's cool, bro. Like, for me, my thing isn't Reels as much right now. It's more like I just post every day on my Instagram stories for over a year. Like, I just like doing that. Like, it's almost like a vlog in a way, but I can just be more personal with it. And for him, his version of the thing that he likes is like doing these selfie videos. So like finding the thing that you like doing and doing it well and doing it the way that you feel is best is, I don't know, that's what I like. So I think I'm going to find a point where I find a way to do that in my YouTube here too, and just implementing like a lot more creativity and effort into my YouTube videos with things that are happening. But to be honest, my life is kind of boring. I don't do a lot of crazy stuff right now. I'm pretty dialed in, and just I travel occasionally, and I'm just focused really on right now. Q4 and Q1 is going to be really big for us, and I know we're going to help a ton of people, and there's going to be a lot of big breakthroughs. Like November 2nd and 3rd, our mastermind. I rented 2 mansions, and we're doing yachts for a weekend here in Puerto Rico with other digital product sellers. And we have, almost everybody that's coming is a member inside of DDM. I think there's only one person so far that's coming that's not a member inside of DDM. So, I'm very excited for that, because experiences are what ultimately changed my life, and I know that's what can change for a lot of others, and just kind of ties back to the original thing of not, like, the moment I stopped staying inside of my room there when I was at that point in 2019 is when things started happening. Like, literally, I felt like I had enough. I had made a little bit of money, saved a little bit of money after that point, and just like enough to like book a couple flights to go and like explore a little bit. And that's what I did. I spent the like little bit of money that I did have to go, and I went to Florida. I went to New York City for the first time. Actually, that was the second time. Texas, and then Arizona. And Arizona I got to be around a friend who was just crushing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what have I been doing this whole time? Just like sitting in my room, just being a sad sack and like overthinking everything, when there are people all around just absolutely killing it and living their life. Like, why am I not doing that? And I decided to stay in Arizona. I moved to Arizona. Like, my friend said I could live there at his house. I moved there, and like I started making breakthroughs, making more money. I was getting in better shape. I was like being around more winners and just expanding my mind to what's possible and more of life. And I don't want to just like continue making this like a long talking video, but there's just different things that are like, I feel like are being just like brought down into my mind to talk about, and just like as a beacon, just to tell you these things and experiences that I've had and am still having. And I feel like I'm at a point right now. I texted my friend the other day. I'll close this off here, but I told my friend, I was like, I feel like Post Malone before White Iverson. And I was like, and he asked, what do you mean, bro? And so I type in a ChatGPT, and I said, I feel like Post Malone before White Iverson. Explain what this means. And it wrote out a thing, and I sent a screenshot to my buddy that asked like what I mean. And he was like, oh shit, I'm tweeting that. I was like, go ahead, bro. But it really just means that I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm just trying things, and I'm learning, and I'm moving forward, and I'm pushing, and I'm like right on the verge of a big breakthrough. Like, I believe something amazing is about to happen. And that's why I just keep going. So I think you will probably see the breakthrough as well, and it's coming soon. So thank you for watching this video if you made it this far. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a big like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.